Welcome everyone to this session on awakening to oneness. So let's begin with a prayer and intention, closing our eyes and knowing that deep down, each and every one of us yearns for peace, yearns for an ease and flow in life. Each of us yearns for that completeness that we have known as a little child. Though that yearning, the ego can manipulate us that we want different things at the level of form. The ego thinks that is what, is wanted. But in reality, all we want is the peace and the happiness. So we can say a prayer to the divine that I wish to go back to my simplicity. I wish to live a simple life where there is peace and happiness inherently in me, and I don't find the need to seek it in anything outside. And I know that as I find that peace and happiness in me, my outer world will be a beautiful reflection of that inner peace and happiness. Continuing with the guidance, I'll be guiding Shefali specifically, but it's applicable for all. Shefali will be giving me the feedback based on the guidance. So Shefali, just feel yourself as a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old, just in whatever way, visualize yourself as that girl. And know that at that age, you were totally open, empty of concepts, empty of knowledge. As you viewed the world around you, you saw it in its most raw and simple manner. You had no labels, no knowledge. You did not know anything about a me, other, and a so-called world. Everything was an experience. And as you were growing up, the name Shefali was introduced. You were in complete oneness with what is, but then a label was introduced and everybody started addressing you, the infinite being, as Shefali. And the moment you become Shefali, then there's a division between you and the world. And then many other labels were taught. You were shown a table and said, this is a table, and a book and said, this is a book. Out in the environment, this is the sky, this is the tree. So the moment we label something, we make it an object. And there is a feeling that I know this. Yeah, I know a tree, I know a book. And that beauty and openness and the curiosity of the child is lost. As you continue to learn labels, you still felt that Shefali is a label on the body-mind. You didn't feel I am the body-mind. When you spoke like that, some of you may have heard children speak like that, saying, Shefali wants water. Okay, addressing the label like that. And then, as well-meaning parents, as well-meaning family, they correct you and say, no, that is not the way. You have to say, I want water. So the I, the infinite I, started feeling I am only this body. Actually, everything is that one infinite being. Everything is divine. Just like a block of wood, a large block of wood can be made into a book stand, a table, a chair. some kind of a toy, and we start looking at the labels: book stand, table, chair, toy, but inherently it is all wood. So the nature of the wood, the substance is ignored and the form it takes is valued. But actually it is all wood. Another analogy is a huge tree with branches, flowers, fruits, branches, trunk, roots. It is all the tree, but we learn to divide the tree into parts, saying this is the branch, this is the tree, this is the fruit, this is the flower. So like that, our world is one, but because of the way our human conditioning is, we have divided the world with labels. And then after the labels comes the feeling: I like, I don't like, good, bad. And, the entire unfolding of duality. So non-duality says not to. So with this exploration, we just want to go back to that simplicity of being that little child. And one simple, beautiful, and effective way is to change the language. So we can begin exploring our experience with the sentence, there is an awareness of. Realizing that there is an awareness of life going on. Life is not happening to a particular body mind, but life is just happening. Coming back to this moment, this adulthood, Shefali, know that that pristine nature is still here, just veiled, covered. So first notice that your existence right now is effortless. You're hearing this voice effortlessly. The body is sitting on the chair and it is held. The sensation of the body on the chair is known effortlessly. You don't have to make an effort. The breath is moving in and out effortlessly. Any sounds in your environment are heard effortlessly. First, we have to realize that life is effortless. And realize that in silence, life is happening beautifully, in fact, more beautifully than with the voice in the head. So the understanding that life is happening to a me can be seen as a lie. If it's happening to a me, the moment there is silence, life should disappear. So these two facts, let's check one more time. Life is effortless. And as you're aware of the silence, realize that life is happening spontaneously for itself, without the middleman, middlewoman, the ego. The ego is a learned way of living life, and now we can unlearn it. Coming to the current experience of the now, Shefali, you can open your eyes. I'll just speak a little bit about my experience and then you can continue. So, keeping our experience of the now as simple and raw as possible. As a child, we don't know labels, we don't differentiate. So, one way I find simple and easy is to just say, there is an awareness of shapes and colors. Everything in our visual perception is seen as shapes and colors. There's really no need to go into details. But if a detail is needed, like if you ask me, where did you buy something from, I can go into the time mode, into the personal mode, and share what I bought it. But I don't need that all the time. So the personal mode is seen as optional. The labeling mode is seen as optional but not needed all the time. So there's an awareness of colors and shapes. And there's an awareness of sounds. So the voice, the so-called my voice and your voice, are both seen as sounds. Any sounds from outside are also seen as sounds. So I can say there's an effortless awareness of sounds. There's an awareness of sensation. There's an awareness of silence. So, like that, everything with respect to what you're experiencing, all the five senses, just you can just share. Shefali, take a moment and just see what is there right now, what is really here right now.
There is an awareness of lightness and space with objects in them. But the space does not feel the objects are intruding. They're
Beautiful.
just there.
Yes.
And at first, there was an awareness of windows, but windows was a label.
Yes.
And so when you said colors and shapes, there was a reminder that the window was a label and it's a shape.
Yes. So if you imagine a 1-year-old looking at a window, she would look at it very differently.
And there's a feeling of peace.
Okay, right.
Because there's a side that feels like there's family members who are going to come in the door any minute, and a bit of worry as the garage door just opened. And then when we just took a step back to say, but there's nothing here right now. And everything is one. And these are just, it's something that's a thought, that middleman, the ego.
Yes. So there's an awareness of the worry, Shefali. The worry by itself is not a problem, but there is an awareness that, this there might be a few minutes of break in the meeting. That itself is not a problem. So there's an awareness of worry which is arising. And it's not your worry, it's just an old habit of wanting things to be a certain way. And that can be seen beautifully. There is an awareness of worry.
I need to open a door.
Yes, please. We'll sit in silence. Yeah, you can go and come.
Oh, there's awareness of laughter, sounds of laughter, and footsteps, sounds of footsteps, and life happening.
Life happens. Beautiful, beautiful. And if there is, a feeling I can't be here right now, there's an awareness of maybe a little bit of discomfort.
There are no coincidences.
Yeah.
Then, it's just, this is meant to happen the way it's unfolding, because this is life unfolding as it should.
Yes. So in fact, it may be a beautiful way to see that even if something comes up, Shefali, you still don't have to make it into something that's happening to me. All of us here and your family, we are all that one being. Okay, but in case we feel practically it is not working out, that's fine. Whatever time we had together is good. But just the tendency of the ego to make everything a problem, because you had told me prior to the session that there could be people coming, and so it's already known to me, right? So it's not really a problem till we make it into a problem. So just this, way of being, that anything that arises, and then, when you're in that peace, you feel, okay, now it's time to end the session. So, that is totally okay. Life is flowing like that. So just going with the flow of life, knowing that there is only one presence. So when there is only one presence, where would the conflict be?
In the mind, then at the end of the day, it's just, there is no conflict.
Yes. So if there is no conflict with the conflict. So there's an awareness of a conflict.
Right.
Awareness does not have a problem with the conflict. Awareness does not have a problem with anything. So that is the key in this guidance, is to keep stepping back. There's an awareness of. And the moment you realize that there's an impersonal, effortless awareness of something, you feel peace. And from that peace, if action is needed, you do it. If it goes on like that, it's fine. Either way, it's okay. Like the movie screen never has a problem with the story of, the story in the movie, whether it's going well or not going well or peaceful. It's just pristine, pure, perfect, right? But as we step back, our level of consciousness increases. So from that higher level of consciousness, it seems that the unfolding happens more beautifully, more harmoniously.
And I think it's just looking at that awareness, it's like the space and the objects, the space has no problem with the objects in it.
Yes.
And when we were talking about a 2-year-old, seeing myself as a 1 or 2-year-old, I always see it, the child as outside of itself. Like I see that there's an awareness of the child being outside of itself. So when looking now, I see this form outside of itself, if that makes any sense.
Yes, that's really good, because your true self is that openness, right? Out of habit, we've contracted into this, right? Functionally, we still work from here, but the truth is that you're not in the body, right? Mm. It's not like I am the body. It's more like your true self says, I have a body to function in this world, to speak, to interact, to show love. So the body mind becomes a beautiful instrument for the divine.
There's just warm fuzzies after saying that. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, Shefali. And another aspect of this is, first we explored the environment, and then we go a little like what we call so-called inside, and just see that if there are thoughts, there's an awareness of thought. Thought is not a problem. If like you felt a discomfort some time back, there's an awareness of discomfort. So thoughts and emotions are also impersonalized. They're just seen for what it is, a temporary arising in awareness. By themselves, they're not a problem. Just like the wave is not a problem to the ocean. And the nature of the waves does not determine, the ocean. So waves are just modulation of the ocean. So thoughts, emotions, body sensations, sounds, visual perceptions, taste, smell are all the oneness appearing in as experience. So if we can just see that experiences are always flowing through awareness and always realizing that there is an awareness of, will put everything in the right perspective.
I appreciate that, because there are old habits that come back, and it takes time. I don't know. It's just a good reminder too, to be gentle as
Yes.
well through the process of recognizing this in various moments in time.
Yes. And I'm glad you said there are old habits, because when it arises, Shefali, just realize there's an awareness of an habit. Don't make it your habit. Don't make it your story. Don't make it your pattern, your trauma. Just there is an arising of that. It is seen. If healing is needed, it is done. But if it's no particular healing is needed, just observing that and just letting it pass. Yeah.
And I feel like the same would go for others when there's frustration with the habits and
Yeah,
patterns of others, that it's the conflict, there's no conflict with the conflict.
exactly. If you have to go, you can we can end the session now, Shefali. It's totally fine. And I think it was beautiful that it came up this way, because this is also a part of life, and we can see how, no matter what comes up, awareness doesn't have a problem with it. And I hope everybody feels that way, that though the session was different, I think it's also very valuable.
Well, I very
Shefali,
much
you can leave
appreciate it.
now if you have to go.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I disturbed you. I mean, I interrupted you.
Oh, no problem at all. There's no need to apologize.
Mhm.
Thank you so very much. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste to all, and see you later.
See you.